Home inspection versus home appraisal. You know, that's one of the things that a lot of people seem to get confused. So we're going to talk about that in this video, and we're going to get started right now. Hey, my name is Chad Palmer, Century 21 Brandt Wright Realty here in Elmore County in Wetumpka, Alabama. And if this is your first time in my channel, please subscribe. I put out new videos all the time. We talk about real estate and things that are going on here in Elmore County. All right, so let's talk about home inspection versus home appraisal. Two different things. Let's talk about the home inspection first. So what is a home inspection? Well, without getting too complicated, because you can do it a couple of different ways. If you're the seller of a property, you can do a pre-listing home inspection. So you can have your home inspected by a professional home inspector. You can get all the stuff that he found, get it all repaired and stuff before you put it on the market. But most of the time, the buyer of a property will inspect a home. Usually it's done like this. So you find a house that you're interested in, you make an offer on it, you get all the details worked out, and once everybody signs off and agrees upon all the details, then you have a contract. So once the home is under contract, you usually have so many days to get a home inspection done, get any repairs that you are requesting the seller to do, get it back to him in writing. You usually have a certain amount of days to get all that stuff done. I think a lot of times I see it like 10 days, so you know, it can be however many days you want it to be. I think the average that I see a lot is 10 days. So you have 10 days to get all the repair requests back to the seller. So here's kind of the way it would work. You'd hire a home inspector. The buyer pays for the home inspection. You can do a home inspection or not do a home inspection, but if you want one, it would be up to the buyer to pay for it. We highly recommend that you have a home inspection. One of the best things I think that you could possibly do. It could save you from spending a lot of money later on down the road on things that you don't know about after you buy the house. So a home inspection is really a good thing to do. So you would pay the home inspector. He works for you. He would go out and inspect the property. He usually would give you a computerized printout that says all the problems that he's found with the property. And at that time, you and your real estate agent can sit down together and say, these are the problems that I'd like to have corrected. We can ask the seller to fix them. Now, he doesn't have to fix them. It's going to be another negotiated thing, what he fixes, what he doesn't fix, things like that. So, but once you come to terms in writing, everybody agrees on what's going to get fixed and what's not going to get fixed. Once you agree upon it in writing, then we can move on to the next phase. And the next phase is we would call the lender up and say, okay, we're through with the home inspection. We're done with the home inspection. We've agreed upon everything that's going to get fixed and not fixed. And so then the lender would order an appraisal. Now, usually they ask the buyer to pay for that appraisal up front. It's part of closing costs, so it depends on how you negotiated the contract. You know, you might get that money back at closing, especially if you ask the seller to pay all the closing costs and they agree, but you're going to have to pay for the appraisal up front just in case for some reason the house doesn't close. At least the mortgage company got the money to go ahead and pay the appraiser for the appraisal that he's done. Now, I have this happen a lot, and I'm not exactly sure why, and I think it may be some way that the mortgage company talks about the appraisal while they're in the office, while the buyer's in the office with them. But for some reason, a lot of people think that the home appraisal and the home inspection are basically the same thing. Now, I've heard it a lot that people would say, well, the home appraiser is going out there and he's going to inspect the property. Well, he's not actually going to inspect the property. He's going to look at the property to make sure that it qualifies for whatever kind of loan that you're getting. So if you're getting an FHA loan or a VA loan, they want to make sure that the house qualifies for that type of loan. And I'll give you an example of a house that we just closed last week, I think it was, and this is kind of what happened. It was an FHA loan. So one of the things that FHA requires is there can't be any flaking paint, I think it says, on the premise or on the property. I'm not exactly sure how it reads, but when this appraiser goes out there, there was a birdhouse that was on a post probably 12 foot high, and that birdhouse, and it was a big one, but that birdhouse had flaking paint. So one of the things that was written up on this appraisal, the value came out fine, but one of the requirements in order to get the FHA loan was that birdhouse either need to be repainted or taken down. So we ended up taking it down. The buyer, who I represented, he didn't want the birdhouse anyway, and it was just a nuisance to get the property closed. So he said, heck, take it down. So, but that's what the appraiser is going to do. He is going to look around and make sure that if there's anything that's going to keep that house from qualifying for whatever kind of loan that you're getting. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I hope that kind of clears up the appraisal versus the home inspection. And by the way, now let's talk about real quick who pays for it. Well, if you're the buyer on the home inspection, if you want one, you pay for it. So if you want the home inspection, you pay for it. It's not a requirement. It's not a law that says you got to have a home inspection. It's a smart thing to do. We highly recommend that you do it, but you don't have to do it. But if you want to do it, it's up to you to pay to get the home inspected. Now, who pays for the appraisal? Well, part of that, and I hit on that a little bit a while ago, but part of it is an appraisal is part of closing costs. So it depends on how you negotiate it in the contract. So it could be that if you're the buyer, the lender's going to ask you to pay for the appraisal up front, and then if you negotiated where the seller pays the closing cost, then you would get that money back, get a credit back at closing for that. So that's who pays for it. That's how it all works. If you have any other questions about home inspection, home appraisal, leave a comment in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, because I put out new videos all the time and we talk about real estate and things that are going on in Elmore County.